Good morning, Carly. Leonard here. I put together this video review. It's just so that you can see different things while I am going over them. And in this video, just a heads up, it's going to be fairly long, but I'm going to go over 7 different areas that I see with your online presence. And there are different things I see that you're doing very well as a company. And there are some areas of improvement and opportunity that I see. So I'll start off with the things that you're doing well. So the first thing, I'm actually going to start on your Facebook page. And I see here that you have just under 200,000 likes and followers. And that's great. I can definitely tell that you all have put some efforts in there. And it looks like your community is really engaged and they interact with the content that you share on your page. So keep up the great work there. Other than that, going back to your website, where was it? Yeah, you all have received some really good press mentions. I know I saw in there the Chicago Tribune, Essence, ABC News, Chicago Sun-Times. So some really major brands and publications, and I think that's always great. One thing I would add on your homepage, I would add different logos for each of these different publications. If someone's not familiar with your brand, they've never purchased or used any of your products, then those types of badges, they definitely add to your credibility, add to the trust. So I would highly recommend that you add these logos to your homepage. And even better, I will link those logos to whatever the write-up was about your company. So if that mention in Essence Magazine, if that's online, then link to that article online. And that way people can learn a little bit more about you before they purchase. So again, great use of press there. Something else, and this was really good to see, I see that you're using product schema for your pages. And this is probably something that you set up or it became by default on your website. But you see, I did a search for your green tea super moist leave-in conditioner. In the schema, this little star rating here, you can see that definitely stands out compared to, other things on the page. And any way you can stand out on the search results page, that's always beneficial to your website traffic and to your conversions. So definitely that's a good sign. And then lastly, I came across your Amazon listings. So I'm happy to see that you are kind of branching out away from the website and are selling your products on other major marketplaces. That's always a great way to boost your visibility. And I'm not sure if you're using ads or anything like here on Amazon, but if you're not, I would highly recommend it. Definitely can take whatever results you are getting from Amazon to the next level. Now, so those are the things I really like that you're doing. And now I'm going to talk about some areas of opportunity I see for your website. So first I'm going to go back to your website. And one thing I noticed, I can't get it to pop up now, but the little email subscription box, it looks like when I just scroll outside of the boxed area, it goes away. So maybe just change the setting there so that I actually have to click the X in order for that box to go away. But I'm using Google Chrome and I noticed that it went away once I scrolled out the box. Some other things I noticed, when I click on the store locator icon, it took me to a broken link. Let me see, I did have that up. Here it goes. Yeah, so when I click on the store locator icon, maybe that wasn't it. Let's see. Yeah, I noticed one of these links for the store locator, it wasn't working. So I'm not sure if that was temporary, but maybe just check that out to make sure it's working correctly. But kind of just starting here on your website. So this little box here that just popped up, and I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can see better. So this little box, it says homepage hyphen and then TGIN. So this is called your title tag, or in other words, your page title. And this is the little section that shows up here in the search results. So your title tag is this little area. So green tea, super moist leave-in conditioner, and the rest of this would be the title tag for that page. Now going back to your website, your title is right now is homepage. So I highly recommend that you make that something more keyword targeted, relevant to your audience. So example would be natural hair products for kinky and curly hair for African Americans. Something like that. So that's a lot more targeted to that keyword. And the reason why you want to do that, because if your homepage shows up in the search results, it's just going to say homepage hyphen TGIN. That's it. You want it to say something that's descriptive of your website and of your brand. And the title tag, this is one of the key areas to optimize for SEO, because the search engines, they use specialized computers called search engine crawlers. And when these crawlers review your website, they take a look at what's in that title tag, and that's how they categorize your website. So right now, homepage, that's very generic. So you're to make that more descriptive. That would go a long way in helping with your SEO. And there are a couple of other pages on your website I saw with that same issue. So I'll just go through each page and make sure that this is something that's descriptive and that it's within 65 characters. Because sometimes it can be cut off, so you want to make sure that it's not too long. Now, I ran a comprehensive audit on your website. So let's see here. I need to close some of these tabs. I have a lot of things open. Okay, here we go. Let's close some more tabs here. Sorry about this. I guess I have so many tabs open. Everything is loading slowly since I'm sharing. Thanks. Okay, finally. All right, so I ran a on-page SEO audit for your website, and basically this audit will tell you pretty much from an SEO perspective everything that can be improved for your website. So you can see here, the tool I use is SEMrush. The overall score is a 68%, so definitely some area for improvement there. And then you have 866 errors, over 2,000 warnings, and over 900 notices. So I would highly prioritize the errors section here. And so you can actually drill down and see exactly what's going on there. But, if I had to break this down, it looks like you have some pages on your website that don't load very quickly. And I won't go over each of these pages in the video, but I will share this report so you can see exactly which pages have the issues. So I would, spend time, if you have a developer on call, spend time in improving the load speed for those pages. For the mixed content, these are pages that, going back to your website, you see you're using the HTTPS. So you're using a secured certificate for your website. So the mixed content issues is when you're linking out to a resource or to another website that doesn't have that protocol. And so that those a red flag because if that website you're linking out to isn't secure, well, it could create security issues for your users. So you want to make sure that any pages that are linking out to a website where it's just HTTP, that you are actually linking out to the HTTPS version. And that would clear up that issue. Other than that, you have some issues with pages that can't be crawled. So that means, kind of going back to what I was saying about the search engine crawlers, if they can't be crawled, then they can't be included in the Google search results. So you want to make sure you clear up those issues. And then the 4XX status code, those are broken links. So those are, you have links on your website that go to a 404 page and they aren't working. So definitely want to spend some time cleaning those up. Other than that, also I looked at some other technical things with your website. So the website speed. So I use another tool called Pingdom for this. You can see that you have a grade of C, a 72, but the load time isn't too bad. It's 1.67 seconds. I like to aim between 2 and 3 seconds. But with that said, there are some things here, again, if you have a developer on call, that they should be able to clean up fairly quickly. And that will help you improve your performance grade. You're an e-commerce store, so it's very important that your website is always fast and works very efficiently, because someone might be browsing during their lunch break or during their work break or while they're in line at the grocery store. And so you want to make sure that you make it as easy as possible for them to make a purchase. And one of the ways to do that is making your website as user-friendly as possible and making it as fast as possible. I also did a test on your website for its mobile friendliness. So in other words, how easy is it to use on different mobile devices? And it came back that it is mobile friendly, but this is just a bare minimum. The next step here, what I would do, I would look on your mobile phone. I would look on different types of mobile phones, because something that might look good on an iPhone, let's say an iPhone 9, might look very different on an older iPhone. So you want to make sure that your website looks good. It's easy to use on multiple devices. So you don't want to make it too difficult for people to scroll. You might want to consider disabling this pop-up on mobile devices, because it is hard to click out of because the X is so small. But these are the types of things that can affect your website conversion rate. And really you want as many people who come to your website to convert as possible. So just some things to consider there. And then finally, for the on-page and technical SEO review, I did something. I ran your website through another tool called the structured data testing tool. In structured data, if I could explain it and simply, is special code and snippets of code that you add to your website to add more context to the website. So we know Google, Bing, Yahoo, they're very sophisticated computers. That's really all they are. So while I, as a human, might come to your website and say, okay, you're a legitimate company, I can figure out from reading a few pages what your brand is about, a website or a search engine crawler isn't able to do that so easily. So what we do is add the snippet of code, and this is what the search engine crawlers see when they come to your website. And so right now you have the organization schema, which is great. You have the website schema, which is great. One other type of schema that you might want to consider adding is the person schema. And it looks like Ms. Donaldson, she's very out front and center as the face of the company. So you want to make sure that you add that schema to the website. And the way this works, let's say someone sees Ms. Donaldson on Wendy Williams, or maybe they catch her, one of her press mentions, and maybe they don't remember the name of the company, but they type in her name. By adding that person type schema, that would better associate her profile, her public profile, with the company. And so if someone were to type in her name, then that'll help pages from Thank God It's Natural come up as well. So you just want to include that for better linking. And so that wraps up everything about the on-page and technical SEO part of my review. Next, I'm going to get into what we call backlinks. And backlinks is simply the matter, I have a website, I link to your website because I really like your products, or I like, what your brand stands for. And, in the SEO world, this is kind of where SEO and PR kind of overlap. Because if you can get backlinks from very high quality websites, then that does that's a great benefit to your overall visibility online. So I just kind of took a look at some of the websites that are linking to you. You have some very high authority websites. This little column here, DR stands for domain rating. That's a metric on a scale from 0 to 100. And the higher that rating, the more authority that website has. So you can see here you have some things that are 91. You have some things that are in the 80s, the 70s, and so on. And then when I looked at your kind of the velocity, I noticed that there was a big ramp up maybe in the last few months or so. Let me see if I can pull up that graph here for you. So you can see here in January of 2018, there were almost no backlinks. But kind of fast forward to December 2018, you can see this huge spike. It's like almost a vertical line. So that's a great sign. And this is something that's ongoing. You never want to stop building backlinks to your website, because when it comes to ranking in Google, backlinks will always and have always been a major part of their ranking algorithm. So you want to make sure that you make this an ongoing process. And if you keep doing what you're doing, getting those press mentions, being active on social media, and then, putting out good content, then this is going to come by automatically. Okay. So great job there. Now, just some ideas on how you can start building more backlinks. The first thing is going after websites that are linking to your competitors but aren't linking to you. If they're linking to your competitors, then it's highly likely that they're going to link to you unless your competitor pay for that mention or pay for that placement. So I'm actually going to send over a report. It's going to show you all of the websites that are linking to your competitors, and you'll also see some of the competitors I found for you and that aren't linking to you. So you can almost think about this as a gap analysis. So you can see some of these websites. So Essence, that really struck me as a surprise, because you do have a press mention from them, but I guess they're not actually linking to your website. So any press mentions, I would recommend, if you can, try to, work it out to where you actually get a backlink when they mention your company or they mention someone from the team. That would be a very good strategy, because, like I said, you have some very highly visible authoritative publications mentioning you. So I'll send over this report. You can go through each of these. There are over 3,700 of these. So, definitely some opportunities there to go after. So other than that, the competitor links, I will also look at press releases. And I would do a targeted press release. And I would target journalists that have shown an interest in talking about health and beauty, and even better if they've written content on health and beauty for African Americans. Those are the really good targeted journalists to go after. And instead of just blasting your brand everywhere, it's better to take that extra time and go after journalists who have shown an interest in writing about what your brand is about. And you can even take it from the foundation angle and say, hey, we are a foundation. We have an initiative to help women with breast cancer. That would definitely just open the doors of opportunities for you. So definitely look at press releases. I know that one of your targets are college educated women. So, I assume that the members of your team, more than likely, they are graduates of some university. So another way you can build backlinks is, going out to your university. Usually, university websites, they're going to have an alumni section, and they might already do this where they feature great things that different alumni are doing. And, I would just tell them your story, send them an email, tell them your story, maybe get on a phone, call some people who have managed that part of their website, because universities, they're usually always happy to feature, their alumni doing great things in the world. And the SEO benefit of that, those university websites, they all end in .edu. Those .edu backlinks are very powerful, very high authority. So again, that's a way that you can add more authority to your website. And then finally, another backlink strategy or strategy you can use to build more backlinks to your website is to offer some type of scholarship. So this can be, you and your team can figure out the criteria for it and the amount. From my experience running these programs, usually, if you don't want to get involved with different tax implications, don't make it any more than $500. But you can have multiple $500 scholarships. And, this could be something, maybe it's a student who lost their mother or lost a close family member to breast cancer. That could be the criteria. And, maybe they write an essay or, however you guys want to do it. But scholarship would be another great opportunity, not only to get more visibility on your brand, but also you can get your scholarship listed on different university websites. And again, those count back as backlinks to your website. So there are definitely a lot of different strategies you can use to build backlinks, but when it comes to increasing your visibility in Google and other search engines, it's definitely something that you want to spend some time and effort on. And so that wraps up the third part of the video. Now I'm going to go into the fourth part, and this kind of builds on backlinks, but just a different strategy. So when I did just some competitor research for your brand, I guess this is going to take a long time to load as well. Let's see. So you can see here, these are some of the competitors I found. And these might not be direct competitors, but they are ranking very well for the keywords that I found for you all. And I'll share that list of keywords so you can see exactly what my research was based on. But you can see some of these are HelloBeautiful.com. They have their top 50 natural hair product list. Allure.com, very similar, 13 best hair products for women of color. TheCut.com, they also have a best products list. So these are huge websites, and they've been around for some time. So instead of trying to outrank these websites, you can try to find opportunities where you're mentioned and featured on these websites. And so since we're at the end of the year, going into the start of 2019, this would be a better time than ever to try to get featured in some of these lists, because it's highly likely that they're going to have a brand new list for 2019. So you can reach out to HelloBeautiful.com and say, hey, we are Thank God It's Natural, and you can give them your pitch and maybe send them out a few sample products for their team. This will be a great way to be featured in their next top 50 list or top whatever list. And there's obviously several websites here. That's Sister.com. But these are all very popular websites. And if you can get featured on here, again, these are backlinks going back to your website. but it can drive traffic and drive more customers who aren't familiar with your brand to your website. And so we call this barnacle SEO, where, just like a barnacle, you don't necessarily want to compete, but you want to take advantage of their authority, take advantage of their visibility for your own brand, and to capture some of that traffic for your own brand. And so that's something that we call barnacle SEO. But again, it's just another way to get more visibility for your brand. So what's not included here, and it's definitely probably too late to do this for this year, but if something you're not doing for next year, you can look at getting included into holiday gift guides. And there's a ton of those online, but definitely something you want to start working on as soon as possible, just so that you're featured in all of those guides that are relevant. And so that wraps up the fourth part about barnacle SEO. Now, going into the fifth part of this video, and it's all about content. And so going to your website, you're doing a very good job with blogging, but one area of improvement I see is that you can have different, kind of maybe structure your blogs a little bit better. And so to illustrate this, I'm going to show you some of my fantastic art skills. So let's say we have and I think this way you'll be able to visually see kind of what I'm going for here. So one of the websites that I saw that was ranking really well, it was actually this guy here, the Curl-Centric Natural Hair 101. So basically what they did, they pretty much wrote a guide on how to care for natural hair. And you read it, it's a very good post. They are very detailed and they use some good imagery. And I think for your brand, I know you're already doing some of this, but really what works well for SEO is this long form content. So if you have to write thousands of words, it really will be beneficial long term because it's always going to place well in Google. And so what I do, I take a look at guides like this and I say, hey, okay, what can we do better? And so one thing I see off the bat, maybe you could be a little more detailed. Maybe you can add some video here and there. That's, there's always a way you can make your content better. It just takes, kind of just looking at what's already ranking well. And this particular article was ranking on the first page. So going back to my diagram here, so let's say one of your categories is natural hair, right? And we can use as your pillar page this 101 care guide. And under that pillar page, you're going to have what are called supporting articles. And so maybe we'll have something about travel and natural hair. So how do you care for natural hair while you're traveling? Or maybe you don't have access to your preferred products. Maybe over here, because some people in your target age range, 25 to 40, maybe they're in grad school, so they don't have a ton of money to spend on hair products. So how to care for natural hair on a budget. And then maybe another topic, maybe something for men. Natural hair care for men. And then, let's see, maybe for this next one, gift guide for natural hair lovers. Now, obviously, you want to do some research to see what subtopics would be the best, but this is called a content silo. And so we kind of just finished this off here. When we're talking about linking, so you have your big page here, Natural Hair 101 Care Guide. It's going to link out to each of these pages. And then in turn, each of these pages are going to link to each other. And so this is how you kind of interconnect your website better. But what's important to know here is, okay, let's say this silo is for natural hair. This silo can be for, I don't know, kinky hair. This is an example. So they're very different, and you're talking about different topics. So within this silo, you wouldn't link out to your kinky hair silo because you want to keep what's called topical relevance for natural hair. And since you're writing on different topics related to natural hair, this is how you tell Google and other search engines, hey, our website, we're an authority figure about natural hair care, and this is why you should rank us. And when you put out this content and you link it in this way, then you're positioning your website to rank well for natural hair related phrases. So again, that phrase I use is topical relevancy. And there's been plenty of research done on that, but that's what you're going for when you're writing content. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be about hair care. You know, looking at your demographic, 25 to 40, making $40,000 or more a year. You know, maybe some other things that people are looking at in that age range is buying their first house. Maybe they're preparing for marriage, preparing to start a family. These are all different topics that your target audience might find interesting. And maybe they're not looking for natural hair products. Maybe they think they're satisfied with their natural hair products. They just aren't aware of you yet. And so maybe you write something about how to move into your first home by the age of 30. And that's a checklist. And then, okay, they see, oh, thank God it's natural. You actually sell hair products. Let me check out your hair products. That's actually how you can, I don't want to say the word steal, but take other brands' customers. So just something to think about there as you're planning your content for 2019. And so other than that, one other area I would recommend you look at is adding an FAQ page. And you can do different types of FAQs, but this is one search I did for, I believe, let's see here. Yeah, natural hair products, Black women. And you can see here, this little section where it says people also ask, this is called a featured snippet. And these are common questions that people ask related to this phrase. So, you know, if you can add an FAQ section somewhere on your website. What is the best moisturizer for Black women's hair? What's the best shampoo for Black women's hair? What is the best natural hair product? What is the best hair growth product for African American hair? If you can answer these questions and find ways to weave in, thank God it's natural products, that's a great way to boost your visibility. So always just think about what questions are people asking about products such as yours, and how can you answer them on your website and do your content. And there are other tools that you can use to find good questions to answer, and I'll actually share those in my email. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up content. Now, moving on, I'm going to talk a bit about social media. And it looks like I accidentally closed your Facebook page, but as I said, you're doing a great job there. Almost 200,000 followers. That's very commendable. What I would say, maybe something to try if you haven't already is try doing some type of contest. So it could be, cutest hairstyles using Thank God It's Natural products. And basically how it could work, people will send in their pictures, their selfies of, a really cute hairstyle. And you can have a separate contest for men, and then have a, contest for women. And you can have a social element to it. So whoever is able to get the most, so basically the first step would be posting onto your Facebook page, and then whoever is able to get the most likes, the most shares, the most comments, the combination of all three of those, they win a free set of products from Thank God It's Natural. And this is just another way for more people to learn about your brand. And, obviously people are always going to want free product. So that's just an incentive for them to actually go through with it. I see that you already have some videos and images on your Facebook page. So you might as well find ways to incentivize that and get people to almost be brand ambassadors. So that's one thing. And obviously you can leverage that on Twitter. You can leverage that on Pinterest. You can leverage that on Instagram. So definitely something I would check out if I were doing any type of social media activity in 2019. Other than that, on YouTube, great job with the videos. It seems like there is a focus on the breast cancer component of the brand. So that's great. One thing I would suggest, if you do want to do something that's more commercial related, add more how-to videos. Because right now, when I look at these different search phrases related to your brand, so this is back to natural hair products for Black women. You see here, you have these 3 videos front and center on the home page, or I'm sorry, on the first page. And sometimes these videos can actually be at the top of the page. So you definitely want to, find ways to do how-to videos. Usually how-to videos work really well on YouTube. And another type of video you can go after are video testimonials from your customers. So those also work very well. So it looks like this video right here is actually a video testimonial. So she's talking about her favorite natural hair products from 2017. So if you can get people to make those videos for you, then maybe you can offer them some incentive. That can be a great way to boost your visibility on YouTube. Now on YouTube itself, I checked out your different videos. These can definitely be better optimized for SEO. So for example, let's see. So let's go to this makeover video. And my apologies, all these tabs and me sharing slow down my browser a bit, but I'm almost at the end, so bear with me. So this video, okay, your video title is TGIN feature on WCIU to Jam. So that's a good description, but it's very unlikely that someone is going to find this video with the way it's titled now. What I would do is do something like giving back to deserving women with a natural hair product makeover. Something like that. The point here, you always want to include one of your keywords or multiple keywords title, because that's how people are going to find you, not from giving back to deserving women necessarily. And then for your videos, I will always do some type of video description. And in that description, I would link back to your website. I will link back to your YouTube channel page, so that page we were just on, so that people can subscribe. And I will also link to other videos that are relevant to this video. So that's a few ways you can get more leverage from your YouTube videos and get more visibility from them. And then I think just for videos, they're kind of my go-to. I just recently, for my own brand, completed a 90-day video challenge. And I recommend that you do something similar, because videos, people usually, especially for hair and beauty, they want to watch videos on how to do something. So if you can put together some campaign at some time during 2019, where in 100 days you're going to create 100 videos, I think that will go very well for your visibility online. And don't forget that YouTube is a search engine itself. It's actually the second largest search engine behind Google. So you definitely want to leverage it where possible. And then finally, paid promotions. And so before I start on this part, I kind of look at your online marketing and I see two focuses. First, obviously, you want to drive uh, potential customers to your website and you want to uh, have them buy product. But then there's a second part, and it's a little more long term. It's a little more kind of more focused on relationship building. You want to build build this community on your Facebook page, on your different social media profiles, so that people become reoccurring customers. They increase their lifetime value. And so that's more of the relationship building component. And that's where most of what we've already gone over doing this video, the SEO, building out more content, building out more videos, building backlinks, that's really going to help you build those relationships over time. Now, for driving product purchases on your website, paid promotions are going to be the most direct route. And when I say paid promotions, I mean advertising on Amazon, advertising on Google. One opportunity you may want to explore is doing Google shopping ads. So people, you see here, best moisturizer or black hair growth. People here that are on the tab, they have their credit card out, they're ready to buy something. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. So this is definitely something you might want to check out as an option for your paid advertisements. Other than that, you obviously also have display advertisements. So one of the brands or publications were featured on Chicago Tribune. Looks like they offer paid placement opportunities. Very slowly. I saw some here for UPS. So definitely, you want to find those opportunities that work within your budget, and maybe you want to be a little bit more targeted than Chicago Tribune. Maybe you want to go to a website that targets Black women or targets, Black professionals than your target age range. Anyway, you want to look at that as an opportunity because that's only adding more visibility. Lastly, you might look at sponsorships. So doing a co-sponsorship with a complementary business, maybe you sponsor a happy hour in Chicago, or maybe have a city where you're doing this in major cities across the country. Again, people like to meet people out, and if you do maybe like happy hour or appetizers, desserts, this would be a good way to kind of just boost that brand visibility outside of Chicago. Then the last thing, and maybe this is something you're already doing, but look at subscription boxes. So I know one popular subscription box that I think would align with your target audience, the brown sugar box. But I know there's quite a few out there now. So maybe that's another opportunity, if you haven't already, that you can explore in 2019. So thanks for watching the video. Thanks for listening to the end. I hope this has been helpful. My apologies again for the connection, but all the words that I went over, I'm going to share them as attachments in my email and also share with you to some of the resources I mentioned as well. Well, thank you. I hope you have a great or Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.